Good day and welcome to today. I hope you're fine. I'm fine. Blessed day, yes. Are you grateful? I hope you are, at least for the gift of life. Welcome to today. My name is Winnie Kamuya, CEO International Renaissance Center, an international best-selling author, speaker, and a coach. Welcome to today. I want to look at 8 strategies for you to embrace your uniqueness and show leadership. If you're waiting to be anyone else and show leadership, you will fail drastically. Because once you accept who you are, once you love who you are, once you have self-awareness about your values, your skills, your talents, then you will lead authentically. I believe that you are a leader. And based on the things that are given to you, that will give you and enable you to show leadership, which is uniquely within your reach. So I wanted to look at 8 ways and strategies that you can apply or you can pick on and use to show leadership as you. We want you to show leadership as yourself. Everyone else is taken, so you can't be me. You can't be anyone else. You have to be yourself. So strategy number 1, give up the need to appear perfect. You are just enough. The greatest thing and the greatest discovery you will make when you're doing self-awareness and self-discovery is to know that you're just enough and that you don't need to be perfect. You are made imperfect for a reason, and thus you are unique. That is your greatest gift that you have. And as long as you accept who you are, then it will be much easier to show up and to lead as yourself, not as anyone else. So be your best self, and everyone else will accept you the way you are. Strategy number 2, know your values and live by them. If you don't know what you value or what are your values, then you will have a big challenge because you don't know what is important. If you haven't watched the video that I talked about values, please go and check and look for it and just watch it because I talked about value. Identify 5 things that are important to you because they will help you when you're leading. And you know, leadership begins when you lead yourself. And you can't lead yourself unless you understand what is important to you. Is it your family? Is it the world? What exactly in the world anyway? What is that one thing that you want to stand for? Because that gives you power. You have to know. Don't assume that you know. Strategy number 3, notice when you are not authentic, because there are times that there are situations, there are environments that will make you get out of yourself. Notice, ask yourself, why am I inauthentic? Why do I feel that I'm not being myself? Why am I not being honest with myself? I need to follow my values. I need to accept who I am. I don't have to be anybody else. Because when you accept who you are, when you know what your values are, then you don't need to be somebody you are not. Because at the end of the day, those you are inspiring and those who are looking up on you, they just love the imperfect you. So remain you and be you. Stop pretending to be someone else. Strategy number 4, know your goals. Unless you know your goals, you will have a challenge because each day you will be wandering in different directions. But when you are clear on your goals, then you can focus on those goals. And those goals will also help you to be able to leave a legacy at the end of your life. Because at the end of your life, you want to have left a legacy of who you are. Because who wants to die anyway and they have not made a difference in the world? I'm not sure you're one of those people. I'm sure that you'd love to leave a legacy. If anything, even if it's not for everyone, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your great-grandchildren. What did you stand for? What was important? Why did you exist? They will look at all those things. They will find meaning. They will be inspired. They will be motivated. And they could also be transformed because of you. Because they know certain things meant something to you. And they will find there are things that also have meaning for themselves. Strategy went to number 4. Strategy number 5. What are your defining characteristics? Ask yourself, honestly, if you could write in your journal who you are, like describe yourself. Do you know who you are? And whatever you write down as you describe yourself, would your best friend or would your friends, would your colleagues, and maybe would your siblings or your parents describe you in the same way? Because that can also highlight more about yourself and give you information about you which could be very, very useful in terms of knowing, are you showing up as yourself or are you showing up as somebody different? And every time, remember, as you also grow older, you get more knowledgeable or you gain more experience, then you might revolve, and maybe the initial person you thought you were could have evolved. So get some time, describe yourself, and ask your friends, ask your siblings, ask your colleagues, is this me? And then reflect back, is that what you want for yourself as you live as a legacy? So align that also to your values, because when you describe yourself, you're seeing yourself as a leader, and then you find that your friends don't see you that way. How do you match those two to ensure that what you want to leave behind is in line with what they are saying? Because sometimes we could be wrong. So strategy number 6, tell your truth. The thing is, we all make mistakes. We all have weaknesses. And if we make mistakes and accept that I made a mistake, I wasn't right, that this is not my strongest area, and that is why you're surrounded anyway by others. In fact, when you know that this is a mistake and you accept to learn from it, and you can be better in the next moment. Share your opinions honestly, because that will help others to understand, I made a mistake here, I wasn't correct or I wasn't right, I learned this, and this is how I will do it next time. Strategy number 7, simplify your life. We like to complicate life. Life is meant to be simple. Right now, you can see how life is meant to be simple. If this isolation, quarantine hasn't reminded you of simplicity of life, maybe nothing will. But life is meant to be simple, not complicated. So unnecessary things, you can do away with them. And you know what? Right now or after, if you are after the lockdown, quarantine, isolation, you've learned you can actually do away with a lot of stuff. You don't need too much. Strategy number 8, do what you say you will do. Consistency comes from saying, I'm going to stream every day, and you stick to it. It's not easy, it will never be easy, and no one said it will be easy. But stick to it if there's a course for you. And that's why it's important to find out what are your values, align them with your goals, and eventually leave a legacy. You can't leave a legacy when you have no roadmap. So where does the roadmap come from? Identifying what is important to you, standing by that, ensuring that you know what is important, and now you can identify your values and align everything that way. Because at the end of the day, you want to embrace who you are, your uniqueness, because it is your uniqueness that gives you a trademark, a special one for that matter. You are yourself with your own skills, talent, gifts that no one else has, and that gives you a unique perspective, a unique position in the planet, and that is your trademark. So remember, you can follow through with those 8 strategies, and remember that when you have to embrace who you are, you're not going to be perfect, and it is okay, because you have your own thoughts, words, and action, which will be different from other people. Trust yourself, because all the time your instincts will be there to guide you. So if you're going to embrace who you are, accept who you are, love who you are, and show up as you have to have all this. So I want to ask you today, are you ready to embrace, love, and ensure you live as yourself? Do you want the world to know who you are? Are you going to share yourself with the world? Because that is when your life begins. It begins when you accept, I am who I am, imperfect, and I don't need to be anyone else. I'll be myself, I'll share my opinion, I will value myself, and I know that I am here to make a difference. So, today's challenge, I want you to define yourself, to find the defining characteristics about yourself. What are those things that are unique about you? Maybe note them down, ask your friends, ask your colleagues, your siblings, and if you have your parents, ask them. You'll be surprised. And note this in your journal, because sometimes we write things and we forget, but when we put them in a journal, we can always reflect back. Describe yourself honestly. Ask someone whether the person you have described there describes you, and reflect on that. It could help you to know whether you are reflecting or showing up as that person. Because at the end of the journey of your life, you want to leave a legacy of the one person that you believed you were. And if these descriptions are different, then maybe it's time to ask yourself, are you showing up as yourself? Are you being the person you have always been? Who are you? And maybe that will take you back to look at the 8 strategies I've given you and ask yourself, which one am I not applying properly, or which one is not working for me, and why? And maybe then you can be able to address yourself and maybe define properly who you are and what is your uniqueness. Because from what is unique about you, you can surely start leading. And leading yourself means you understand yourself, you love yourself, and you know that your opinion matters. And if they matter, they will change the world. Don't fight with yourself. Just know you are the imperfect you. And that is what makes you unique. I believe in you, and I know that using the 8 strategies, you will be able to show up as you. The people waiting on you will be so happy you showed up. Remember, courage is contagious. And if you show up courageously, others who have been hiding might show up, because you've given them permission to be who they were always were. So, until next time, I hope that you will make a change if there is need to make a change, and you will be able to show up as yourself. I believe in you, and God believes in you. Another day is another opportunity for you to show up as yourself. So, if you have any comments or feedback, please feel free to leave them below. And until next time, it's a goodbye for now.